We know that there are some people who will not celebrate Raila Odinga being the AUC chair. But what I said even in the other session here, Jeff, it will take a lot of time for this opportunity to be in line with Kenya. A lot of time. And as we counted, it's about 32 years, but it is more. If you're going to lose these 8 years, it's plus 8, that is 40 years.
Yeah.
And 40 years,
Well,
when it comes back, to East Africa, Tanzania will say, we also have our candidates.
Yeah,
Uganda also can produce candidates, you know. That is another 40 years. That is 80 years.
Boni, which country do you think that is not going to support Kenya? And why?
Baba should be the AU chairperson because Baba supports Somaliland's autonomy. And that is why Somalia doesn't want to support Baba Raila Odinga.
Why?
Yeah, because Somaliland has been independent or working independently for 30 years, yet it has never been granted that autonomy to be a country on its own.
If Baba wins, and I know very sure that Baba is going to win, which goodies is Kenya going to get?
A lot. And specifically, that is the reason as to why Baba was very important to go to China. China is bringing a lot of development in Kenya. As you know, the West or the US does not really like investing in huge projects in Kenya. Hello guys, welcome to yet another great session, and today we are speaking about Beijing, Baba and FOCAC Summit and Ruto, all in combined to go for the AUC seats.
Boni,
yes.
Thank you so much. What I can say that the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Kipchirchir Ruto, this guy is a chess master. This guy is a political chess master.
Absolutely.
You saw what Ruto did yesterday. What can you say about that in Beijing, China?
Ruto took the opportunity, and I believe that is his character, to go all in campaigns. He took the opportunity and told Baba, let us go to Beijing. Let us go because you're going to campaign and you're not going to sleep any moment until you get this seat.
But we saw Baba sleeping.
Yes. So they went to Beijing. And Baba is getting some good exposure. Compared to other candidates, Baba is getting some good exposure. He is meeting these presidents in person.
I think he's the only candidate
who
went to China.
Absolutely,
and meeting the president just on a low budget.
Yes.
And you know, a low budget campaign.
It calls for a lot. It calls for a lot for you to be invited, even to be in one room with those presidents. There's a lot of protocol. And that's why you found that Baba was not in some other photos, but in these chambers where the president was meeting a president, the President Ruto took Baba there and they had discussions. That is a very good thing.
What I loved about President William Samoei Ruto, what he did, he first greeted the president that were coming. I think there were like 7, 8 you are going to talk about them. He greeted them, invited them, and he said that meet the former Prime Minister of Kenya who wants the AU seat. He did amazing work over there.
And that is very important. And we saw Baba meeting very, very critical presidents, the president of Togo, the president of Guinea. One surprising president that I saw Baba meeting was president of Mali, the one who took office through a coup. Baba also met him.
I'm surprised.
It's called Goita.
Are those guys going to vote?
I think Mali will vote, but the AU still has a lot of clarity to make, because there are countries that the AU says that they are banned, but there are countries that did the same things that they're supposed to be banned, but are still going to vote.
Even what I heard that the president of Burkina Faso saying that he's not going to vote for Baba. Yes, and I was surprised this guy got the government through a coup, and they say that they're not going to vote, but the guy said that I'm not going to vote for Raila Amolo Odinga. I was surprised.
There are some countries that are banned by the AU. By the way, they
even the statement of statement of Ibrahim Traore yesterday. He said that how can African beat fellow African by not accepting him to vote in the AU? Yet is their right to do that. So
I think they should be allowed to vote.
Yeah.
Everyone should be allowed to vote.
Yeah.
People should not be scared about who is going to vote or not, because that vote is very important to make a difference.
True.
And Ibrahim Traore is a very passionate president that has been loved by everyone,
Yeah.
and we've witnessed that.
Even me, I love Ibrahim Traore.
We've witnessed that clearly.
Yes.
And yeah, because why should a president who is a dictator
Yeah.
in Africa, and we know them, why should they be allowed to vote?
Yeah.
Presidents who have taken decades in power, presidents who assumed power in the 90s, they are still in power, 30 years in power, they are allowed to vote. Why can't we allow also these others to vote? Then we'll talk about other things later.
True.
And say that, well, you didn't take power appropriately, then we're going to deny you this and this. But denying them to air their views and represent their people is not good.
Yeah.
In making decisions in the Africa Union. It's as if they'll be left out of making that critical decisions of the Africa Union. But I saw Baba meeting Geita, that Malian president, and that was very wonderful. That President Ruto, first of all, had cordial relations with that president, the president of Mali, as well as introducing Baba to him. Baba was also introduced to Kagame.
Yeah.
Kagame is a regional leader, huyo ni beshte.
Sure.
But we also want his votes,
Yeah.
to go to Baba. And other Hakainde Hichilema, the president of Zambia, Baba also met him. But I think Hakainde
President
Hichilema,
of Guinea.
yeah, Hakainde Hichilema, I think is a very good friend to Baba Raila Odinga.
Yes.
Very good friend to. When Baba was campaigning and Uhuru invited Hakainde, you could see in the photos at that time before Ruto took power. They were very good friends with Raila Odinga. And he gave a very good speech about Raila Odinga and said that this is my friend. So in South Africa, we see Baba having a lot of support.
Yeah,
But
that's
what
a sure bet.
the problem is, South and East is locked. The problem is West and
Yeah,
North.
The Togo people, the president of Togo.
Exactly.
I think that was the first time that President William Samoei Ruto met the president of Togo.
Yes, yes.
So, will he be able to convince?
He has to. These are French-speaking presidents, but he has to
Yeah.
convince them because, and I saw that was the direction that President took, because our president did go and meet. There were many presidents there, including Samia Suluhu who was there, but the president didn't really mind about them. He wanted to go to those presidents who did not attend the meeting that was here in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And the president of Chad, the president of Togo, the president of Mali, president of Guinea, all these, they were approached by the president, and I believe now Raila Odinga has enough exposure. I've not seen Mohamed Youssef doing this.
Yeah.
I've not seen the other one from Madagascar
We
or
just saw
Mauritius.
Mohamed Yusuf going to Uganda. That only.
Exactly.
Maybe
So-
he has his own strategy of
And
campaign.
by the way, we have to note that Djibouti has a lot of economic problems right now as we speak. So they are fighting their own battles there that might also affect what is happening.
Even, last year the president of Djibouti came to Kenya.
Yes.
He wants to make a trade link between Kenya and Djibouti. Will it surprise you to see the president of Djibouti voting for Baba?
It will be a unique situation.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised because they made a deal with President William Samoei Ruto.
Yes.
We don't know what was the deal about. I know President William Samoei Ruto told him
Yes.
that we have a candidate who is going to vie for the AU seat and we want your vote.
Yes. It will be very interesting. But our focus also should be on the north. The fact that we have relations with Morocco, cordial now relations with Morocco. And then there is the factor of Western Sahara, because Kenya was supporting Western Sahara for quite some time to have independence. And now Kenya shifted from being a close ally to Algeria. Algeria is supporting Western Sahara to be independent. But Kenya, after William Ruto came into power, Kenya started supporting Morocco, came closer to Morocco. Morocco is the one that is giving us fertilizer, Fertilizer is in line with what President Ruto has been advocating for, that we need cheaper fertilizer for food security in Kenya.
Yeah.
So Kenya has been very close to Morocco, and that meant that Kenya now, for some time, disregarded the independence or the call or the advocating for independence of Western Sahara.
Yes.
Because Morocco claims that Western Sahara is part of Morocco Kingdom. Yeah, but Algeria on the other side is saying that Morocco should be left to determine its future. So in a way, Algeria says, let Western Sahara be a country on its own. So, and you remember the president of Western Sahara came to Ruto's inauguration here in Nairobi. And just a day after, Ruto says that I don't recognize Western Sahara as a country, then deleted that tweet. So there is a lot that happened.
So this is the time that we need them.
This is the time that we need them. But what happened in 2017, we had Amina Mohammed, the then foreign secretary under Uhuru's regime,
Yes.
wanted to become the AUC chairperson,
Yeah.
competing against Musa Faki. But what happened was surprised us as Kenyans because Kenya was close to Algeria, and now Kenya advocated for Western Sahara to be independent. Morocco said nothing like that will ever happen, that no person who advocates for the independence of Western Sahara will be the AUC chairperson. And Morocco took it upon itself to go and decampaign Amina Mohammed from becoming the AUC chairperson. Yeah? So Kenya right now is in close relationship with Morocco. And now what we are hoping for is that Algeria doesn't take it upon itself to decampaign Kenya just because Kenya is in close relations with Morocco. Another country also that is in close relations with Morocco is Djibouti. So we are on the same side on that. And it's not like Djibouti will be supported by Algeria or something. So Algeria has to cut really good deals with Kenya. And Kenya has to walk on eggshells to make sure that it doesn't really hurt Algeria, because Algeria is also influential in the north. Morocco is also influential, and it showed us that it is influential. So Kenya has to walk on a very tight rope to make sure that it doesn't break diplomatic ties between either Algeria or Morocco and just sail through, because the votes of the northern countries can be the definitive votes if we are talking about Francophone and Anglophone. Because if you say that Western Africa will support Djibouti, you are left with Northern Africa. Northern Africa is the one that will supply us or vote for the deputy chairperson. So it is very important to have that support of the Northern Africa, as well as swing, we can call them swing votes. These are like Egypt, that have not really come out to say they will support whichever candidate. So we have to make sure that we have the support of countries like Egypt.
Okay, Boni. Which country do you think that is not going to support Kenya? And why? Which country?
Somalia.
Are you sure you
Somalia will not
saw the
support Kenya.
president of Somalia in Kenya?
Somalia was not here. He gave a last-minute apology. And that one is in public domain. Djibouti will obviously vote for its candidate, and Somalia will vote for Djibouti.
Remember Djibouti, the president of Djibouti was in Kenya last year. And he said that he wants favor from the president of the Republic of Kenya.
They will support their own. Huwezi wacha mtoto wako Jeff. Unasema acha tuanguke tu na yeye.
Eritrea.
I think Eritrea will now also, if Djibouti has not mended relations with Eritrea, it is likely that Eritrea might support Kenya again. What is very interesting is that I've seen, this is not confirmed, but I've seen in social media, in some comments somewhere, some people say that Baba should be the AU chairperson because Baba supports Somaliland's autonomy. And that is why Somalia doesn't want to support Baba Raila Odinga.
Why?
Yeah, because Somaliland has been independent or working independently for 30 years, yet it has never been granted that autonomy to be a country on its own. So that is someone said that in social, unconfirmed, but that is someone said that, and that is maybe the reason as to why Somalia is jittery about allowing Baba to be the AUC chairperson. Yes.
This is very sad. This is very sad to hear what is happening. What about Ethiopia?
Ethiopia, if we go by that statement that I've just said, Ethiopia, we are seeing Ethiopia supporting Somaliland to make deals with Somaliland so that they can get a border, they can get a port in Somaliland. So by that virtue, Ethiopia might support Kenya if you are looking at that structure, where Somaliland comes into interest and Ethiopia wants support there, and if Somaliland becomes a country, then it's easier. There is that discussion, but we're not yet there. As at now, Somalia or Ethiopia, might support Djibouti because they are very close neighbors, and it is Djibouti that has that port, working port, nearest port with Ethiopia, and Ethiopia really needs a port. It really needs a port. It knows that it cannot get a port via, it cannot get a good port that is via Eritrea. The only country that is supplying Ethiopia with a very good port is Djibouti. Kenya's port is very far. Lamu port is far from Ethiopia. That is given. Somalia is not even in good terms with Ethiopia right now.
Yeah.
But Ethiopia will support Djibouti, because if it doesn't support Djibouti, they'll say we'll shut these ports.
Yeah.
We have your port here. You have nothing else against us.
Yeah.
We just have to support us. So that is the leverage that Djibouti has. Djibouti also has the leverage of the support of many huge countries, these influential countries around the world. It has bases, military bases there. China, US, France, all of them have bases there. And that has been a point of discussion for many, that Djibouti has that favor from international community, that it has all these bases there. But Kenya also has a Manda Bay.
True.
The US base. Kenya has very close relations with the US. Kenya now, as we've seen, has even joined the Asian Investment Bank, Chinese Investment Bank, that is going to supply loan to Kenya. That means that Kenya is going closer to China. So I'm saying the foreign policy of Kenya coming in to support all this, that Baba should be aligned to get the AUC seat.
As you are finishing, if Baba wins, and I know very sure that Baba is going to win, which goodies is Kenya going to get?
A lot. And specifically, that is the reason as to why Baba was very important to go to China. China is bringing a lot of development in Kenya. As you know, the West or the US does not really like investing in huge projects in Kenya. The US would rather give money to the IMF than the IMF gives us, or the US just loans us directly, but it doesn't like to build roads or build whatever. It's only the promise that they give. They gave when Ruto went there, and they say that they're going to build a dual carriage from Mombasa to Nairobi. But China has been a very huge investor in Africa. If you're seeing all these
Expressway,
the expressway, even Thika Highway, is Chinese. The SGR, the ports, the Lamu ports, and most importantly is the Lamu port. So Raila Odinga was very fundamental to go there, to also start orienting himself and advocate for these huge projects. These huge projects that we're talking about, the SGR and the Lamu port, are going to benefit Kenya directly. If at all that is going to be secured and Raila Odinga can advocate for them, the Lamu port is going to give Kenyans a lot of jobs. If you have the LAPSET project done, well done and corridored, we're going to have highways from Lamu all the way to South Sudan, and we're going to have a highway from Lamu all the way to Ethiopia. These infrastructure projects are going to benefit Kenya. They're going to open the northern part of Kenya, and Raila is the best person to go and advocate for this, because it's going beyond the country to now affect other countries. So that one is overseen by the AU, and now Raila Odinga will be that person to oversee them, as well as SGR, because the SGR is not supposed to end at Naivasha. The SGR is supposed to go all the way to Burundi, Rwanda, and DRC, and even Uganda. So Raila Odinga is the best person to also go and advocate as the candidate right now, but as the future maybe AUC leader. He's the best person to go and advocate for such initiatives that will benefit the entire African region. So he was the person that was best placed. I'm not sure why the others will not be part of that very critical meeting, but it is very important that Raila Odinga had to orient himself with the Chinese government, because the amount of investment that China has made in Africa, I'm telling you, China will have an influence on who is going to be the AUC chairperson. That one is given, because they will not want a person who will go away from what they've done in Africa, someone who is going to disregard Chinese influence in Africa. They want a person who is going to be, as we can call it, neutral, but they would like him to lay or to lean to China, but of course that AUC chairperson cannot. They would like a person who will not affect their business in Africa, because there are many countries that are indebted with Chinese loans. There are many countries that have projects like Kenya. Even I believe Tanzania has a lot of projects with China. So they don't want that disruption. So China is going to influence who is going to be the president.
I think Raila Amolo Odinga is going to win this.
Yeah, he has the favor. He has the favor.
Yeah. He has the favor. I think he's going to clinch this AU seat, and this is going to be the first big seat that Raila Amolo Odinga has gotten. This guy has suffered. He fight 5 times, 0.
Yeah. And the message that you can give as we end this, the message that you can give to our fellow Kenyans, we know that there are some people who will not celebrate Raila Odinga being the AUC chair. But what I said even in the other session here, Jeff, it will take a lot of time for this opportunity to be in line with Kenya. A lot of time. And as we counted, it's about 32 years, but it is more. If you're going to lose these 8 years, it's plus 8, that is 40 years. Yeah. And 40 years, when it comes back, to East Africa, Tanzania will say, we also have our candidates.
Yeah,
Uganda also can produce candidates, you know. That is another 40 years. That is 80 years.
Yeah. I think people used to love Baba. To be honest over here, we always be honest.
Yes.
People used to love Baba.
Yes.
People were always there for Baba. People were campaigning the first time that Baba should go and get the AU seat and relax.
Yes.
Where the problem came in is during the post-election, the Maandamano demonstration is where people say that we don't love Baba, we don't want to see Baba. After the broad-based government, where the people of ODM went and joined the government, that's where the rain started beating Raila Amolo Odinga. But people have been loving Baba. Baba is someone that is very hard not to love.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's very hard not for you to love Baba. Unaweza mchukia leo, kesho unaamka asubuhi amefanya kitu poa. If it was not for Baba, hatungeweza hata kuongea hivi. Hatungeweza kuongea.
Yeah.
This has been brought by Baba.
Yes.
Hata if it wasn't for Baba, hatungeweza hata kwenda kwa streets.
Yes.
Kusema Ruto must go.
Absolutely.
It wasn't for Baba, Morara Kibaso angekuwa juu ya magari aki-launch hizo projects za Ruto.
Kweli.
Because of Raila Amolo Odinga. This guy needs some flowers. He has done a lot of work to us Kenyans.
Absolutely.
We need to appreciate him with the AU job. That's what I can say for Baba. Sisi wenye tunapiga Baba vita, tuache hiyo mambo. Let's pray for Baba to get the AU seat because the mzee has done a lot to Kenyans. Unaona? To fight ukubali zile makosa zenye amefanya sahi, we should appreciate him for what he has done. Kumbuka the 2007 election. Vita ilikuwa. Nani alikuja akasema let's greet each other, let's work as a team for me nini, but Baba alikuwa ameshinda. 2007 Baba won. It was sure bet. Watu walipigana. What Baba did? Kasalimiana na Kibaki, kukakuwa na nusu mkate. Kofi Annan akakuja akamaliza hiyo maneno, kukakuwa na maneno. Why should you hate Baba?
There is no reason at all. There is no reason. I think Baba has done his part and has done a very good job. That democracy, Kenya is now known as a democratic country. We have neighbors here and we can see them where the even raising a voice at your leader is impounded with a lot of force.
Uganda here, our neighbor.
Just the other day, Just the other day.
So what happened?
Someone got shot. So I would just like to tell our young brothers that Kenya was not far from where Uganda is today. And Raila Odinga was the person who has brought us from that kind of a life, where we can sit here and critique the government, and we'll leave this place, go back home to our families, and come back here the other day. If this was Uganda, and we'll speak something against William Ruto, someone will be waiting for us kwa gate.
It's true.
Kwa gate. And we will stay for quite some time pale kwa prison, and our life will just be messed up. So let us give Raila Odinga his flowers. He's a human being, just like everyone else. We don't expect Raila Odinga to be an angel. He's not God. Kila mtu ana make mistakes. If he made a mistake as per you, just accept it and let us move on as a country. And when we are fronting a candidate in international scene, it is also always proper. And of course, I'm not saying that people should not have their own views, but I think as a patriot, it is very important that we should just align ourselves and be behind one person and say that we are fronting this person for the AU chairperson, because Baba was a person that you will have to elect, you will have elected just 2 years ago to be your president. Today you are saying that you don't want him to be the AU chair. What does it tell about you? What does it say about you?
We are the same people that told Baba usitoke. Baba usitoke kwa hii maandamano.
Tuache.
Baba
akaka
Right now, we want Baba to go to Addis Ababa aende
Akae tu.
as how we say.
Bas.
We are Africans and Africa is our business. I think next time we say game
Over.